Welcome to the channel for those that are first-time viewers, and welcome back if you view this channel or it's not your first time. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button at the bottom. I will keep fresh content on this channel as often as I can. I'm looking at about a couple times a week at least. So today we're going to talk about lineman boots. We've got the two lineman boots here, two examples. They accomplish the same thing. It's just one is newer to the market than the other one, and there are some differences. I've worn both of them. You know, I personally have a preference, but we'll get to that here in a minute. You could actually buy either one of them and not, go wrong. They both will serve the purpose of a lineman boot, or if you needed something for, staying on a ladder for extended periods of time, that's what it will do very well also. Okay, so on my left here, your right, is this boot here. This is your traditional lineman boot. So I'm old enough that when I think of lineman boot, this is it. Okay, this is what I think of. I think of a tall boot that has a heel, that has some iterations of this boot will have a plate on the front of the heel, and for those of you that know Pacific Northwest boots know that I'm talking about Westco. And they will also, some of them will have a metal plate on the inner part and the front up here. These do not. Is it needed? No, it's not required. But some of them like to have that option. This, I don't know if Frank's would build it with that option. I'm kind of leaning towards no, because I've never seen one of their boots actually have anything like that. So again, traditional style build for a lineman boot, 16-inch high. To my right, your left, is a boot that is, the boot itself is made by Meindl, and it is made in Germany. The Meindl family has been building boots since the 1500s. They've been building boots for a very, very long time. And I think it's 11th generation right now. So this is a different take on a boot that will accomplish the same thing. I'm actually wearing a boot by Meindl right now that is their alpine hiker, kind of the top of the line boot that they make. It's called a Super Perfect, and it is very, very, very stiff. It is probably, as far as breaking boots in, probably one of the most brutal ones I have broken in, but it's now starting to get comfortable after about 300 hours, so yeah, it takes a while to break it in. Anyway, getting back to lineman boots. So I wanted a lineman boot, but I wanted something that would go further up to the front of the boot, to the toe area, so that I can adjust the tension. I have a problem, and my problem is the way that it's genetics, the way that my leg is shaped. I have a very skinny ankle, and then I have a high placement for my calf muscle. So it's further up here than most people are. As a matter of fact, we were building a different boot, and I bought trying to think, it was the boots that the 134th Infantry and the Black Widow boot. I had that boot built, and at a 14-inch height, and so they needed my measurements. And I got a phone call from Michelle at Frank's, and she says, "Hey, Frank is taking a look at the your measurements to cut the uppers, and he says it doesn't look right. Are you sure you measured it right?" So I said, "Yeah, I actually had someone else measure it. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but tell me what you need me to do." So she said, "Okay, well, can you take a picture of, like a 12-inch boot, and we can see what that looks like?" And yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm wearing one right now. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a picture of it. So I did. But anyway, I got it to her. She took a look at it, and Frank took a look at it, and Frank said, "Yeah, that's his measurement. It's right. The way that the laces are, bunching up or getting closer to one another in this area here, yeah, it's indicative of those dimensions being correct. So that's where this boot is better suited for someone that maybe has some crazy dimensions on their lower leg. But that's when you go over a 12-inch height, you need, Franks will require you to provide them with those measurements. This boot here, again, traditional build, the way it's always been built. It can be resoled, it can be rebuilt, so you can replace all the lower portion here of the boot. And this boot could essentially last a person a lifetime. So, this boot here, it is shipped to Hoffman as a Dover. At least that's what, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I looked at the specs. The Dover is not available in the United States through Mindel USA. It is only available through their European website, their German website. I'm sure you could order it if you wanted to from Mindel USA, but it would be a special order, and there would be some limitations on, what you could do as far as if there was a problem. I don't know that they could exchange it or refund your money on it, so be careful. They do make a boot in their Comfort series, which looks essentially just like this, but it has a different last, and it is built a little bit differently, but it looks very similar to this. So what Hoffman does, and Hoffman is based in Kellogg, Idaho, and what they do is they take this boot, this Dover, and they tear it down. They tear the bottom off, the sole off, and then they put 2 shanks in, and then they resole it. They rebond it, and then it's good to go. This boot versus this boot. This is 11 and a half. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's 10 and a half. I will say 10 and a half or 11-inch shaft on this. The height. This is 16. There is only a 1 pound difference overall, so half a pound per boot between these two boots. This one is heavier, and you would expect it to be. There's a lot more leather here. There's a lot more boot here. This boot is one that is comfortable from the get-go. There's really no break-in, but it's very stiff. I mean, that double shank, yeah, it's there. There's really no flex, not a lot of flex. This boot, for me, does not fit as well as this boot. Of course, this is a custom upper, which costs more money. So if you get a boot that is 16 inches tall, you are going to be charged a fee for a custom upper. But for me, it's worth it because I need it. This boot here, compared to the Comfort series that Mindel has, this boot is wider. This boot feels, I hate to use the word sloppy because the construction isn't sloppy, but my foot it doesn't swim in there, but there's definitely room in there. And this upper will probably require some break-in, like my Super Perfect, because it is a whole piece. And this is built like a hiking boot or a mountain hunting boot, that this is all one piece. It's a whole piece that goes around to the back, and there's a seam in the back covered by a backstay. So as the leather begins to give and stretch and whatnot, this will come together closer, and then it'll tighten things up, or at least that's what my hopes are. So again, this is more of a modern take on this boot, more comfortable out of the box, but stiffer. And I know that's crazy. You would think this would be really, really super stiff. There is some break-in, but for me, on this boot here, There really hasn't been. I mean, there was maybe the first 2 days that I wore it, so that'd be 24 hours. It was, I mean, there was some break-in, but there really wasn't very much slippage. There wasn't a lot of hot spots or pressure points or pinch points. Usually I get some at least, but with this build, I just didn't, and I attribute that to the monkey and the fact that this is a custom upper. This boot, however, yeah, I've had some slippage, but again, there will be some break-in, but it's minimal. It is comfortable when you first put it on, but I don't know that this boot is built to be more than just a one-trick pony. This is built to be kind of a multi-use boot, to where, yeah, I'm going to be climbing trees or climbing poles or standing on a ladder for a long time, but if I need to be walking around on the ground, I can, and it's going to be comfortable. This is more of a, this is a lineman boot, built specifically for that purpose. Now, you can wear it, other than climbing, but where this is multi-purpose and this is more, again, kind of a one specific use, I've found the roles to be reversed. I don't think I could wear this around on the ground for a long period of time. And again, that's just me. I've just the way my ankles are. There's no way for me to tighten this up. They do have this I think it's called Dig-A-Fit. So Dig-A-Fit, and it is you can see where it's got some reliefs cut in here, and there is you've got a hook here, and it is set back a little bit further than the other ones, so that it helps to pull that in closer to the ankle area and tighter in the ankle area. But again, you're dealing with all this leather here that is from the one piece or the whole piece upper. It's gusseted, but it's kind of stiff. So initially, I don't know how effective that actually is, that Dig-A-Fit is. But as time goes on, I'm expecting it to loosen up and be more effective. Waterproof, not waterproof. Waterproof only lasts so long in these, and on their warranty, it explicitly tells you that this is not infallible. It's going to leak. 100%. You wear this long enough, it's going to leak. Okay. It is Gore-Tex, so I've had good luck with Gore-Tex, but if you are going to be walking around in water on a constant basis, you're probably not going to get as much life out of it as if you wear it outside in the rain occasionally. It's just not going to happen. This boot, again, you're going to need like the Obanoffs more often. This is it's a fine candidate for what you need to do. Bottom line, lifetime boot. This one here. It can be rebuilt. It can be resold. It's built on, I had mine built on the 4811 last. So, I could send it to either Frank's or White's and have it rebuilt if need be. This, you can have it resold. I think they say rebuilt, and that's this rubber rand here where they can replace that. But, it's not in the same sense a rebuild as this is, because you're replacing leather. This, it being a whole piece, yeah, it's going to be too expensive. I mean, you would end up being better off just buying another boot instead of going through all that. As far as heel height is concerned, it's got a higher heel, and it's going to have more of an arch, and you 100% can feel it. You can feel this has a higher arch in it. So if you are used to wearing a Pacific Northwest boot, you may want to stick with this, because this, you're not going to feel the arch like you do in this. This does have an arch, and it's comfortable. It's like there's some give there, some cushion there. This, I've said multiple times to people that this fits so well that, and it conforms to my foot so well that it feels like there's memory foam in there, but there's obviously not. It's just a leather insole. But if this is built right, I mean, this is, for me, is the way to go. But for someone that, maybe you have an allowance, because this is this is probably $750, $800. You can get by with getting something like this and replacing it every couple of years. Whereas with this one, you can have it rebuilt, but you got to send it off, and it's going to be gone for, I don't know, 10, 12 weeks. So keep that in mind too. Either one of them are a good choice. I've worn them both. They both will do the job well. This one has a stiffer sole, much stiffer sole than what this one does. This flexes more when you're walking. So I could see where I could get by with this much better than I could this. So if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to, get in touch with me. I'm glad to answer them. I'll try and keep this channel fresh with content a couple times a week. But thanks for watching.